Good evening and welcome to this special news broadcast. A dramatic development has emerged from the ongoing legal battle of Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. Kanu, who has been in the custody of the Department of State Services, DSS, since June 2021 on charges of terrorism, has made a bold pledge, offering a reward for any Nigerian law student who can uncover a judicial precedent related to stay of execution in criminal cases involving an acquitted defendant. Kanu's legal team, led by his special counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimekar, made the announcement during a press conference on Thursday. According to the IPOB leader, the reward of 1 million will go to any law student who can find an example in Nigerian jurisprudence where a judge granted a stay of execution after an accused person has been acquitted and discharged. This pledge comes in response to a controversial decision by the appeal court in October 2022. Justice Harunat Samani of the appeal court granted a stay of execution on a ruling that had set Kanu free and acquitted him of terrorism and treasonable felony charges. A three-judge panel ruled that Kanu's extraordinary rendition from Kenya to Nigeria violated international law, declaring the charges against him as unlawful due to the failure of the Nigerian government to follow extradition procedures. The court's judgment was a scathing critique of the Nigerian government's actions, with the judges accusing them of gross human rights violations and abuse of power. However, despite this landmark ruling, the Nigerian government sought a stay of execution at the Supreme Court, effectively keeping Kanu in detention. During the press briefing, Kanu's legal team condemned the continued detention of their client, stating that Kanu's imprisonment is illegal and goes against multiple court rulings. They emphasized that the Court of Appeal had quashed all the charges against him, and that there was no valid court order justifying his continued detention. The legal team pointed out that the stay of execution granted by the appeal court was unprecedented, as it was the first time in Nigerian legal history that a person who had been acquitted was denied their release through such an order. They argued that no legal precedent exists for this. Kanu's legal team also referenced various court rulings, including a 2023 decision by the High Court of Enugu State, which declared that the actions taken against Kanu were unconstitutional and violated his fundamental rights. Kanu's pledge of 1 million is not just a challenge to law students but also a call for justice in his case. His legal team insists that Kanu's detention is politically motivated, driven by his advocacy for Biafran self-determination, a right they argue is enshrined in both Nigerian law and international human rights agreements. The legal battle continues to unfold, with questions raised about the respect for court orders in Nigeria and the rule of law. Kanu's lawyers are calling for his immediate release, citing several judgments that have ruled his detention to be unlawful. As the situation evolves, all eyes will be on the Supreme Court and the Nigerian government. Kanu's legal team continues to challenge the legitimacy of his detention, asserting that no individual, regardless of their political stance, should be held unlawfully by the state. IPOB lawyers accuse Nigerian government of setting kidnapping precedents. The legal team of Nnamdi Kanu, leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra, has made shocking allegations against the Nigerian government. They claim that the government's handling of Kanu's case has set a precedent for kidnapping in the country.
You can imagine what it means for someone to be on an endless trial that never really happens for almost 10 years, and being detained without conviction for 18 months, initially from 2015 to 2017, and again for over 3.5 years from 2021 to the present day. It's also to be recalled that after Nnamdi Kanu was freed on bail, Nigeria's army levied these lethal attacks against him that drove him into exile, involuntary exile, from which he was also renditioned in 2021.
Lead counsel Aloy Ejimekar, Nyemeka Ejiofor, and Jude Ugwanyi revealed during a world press conference in Abuja that the Nigerian government's agents abducted Kanu in Kenya and subjected him to extraordinary rendition in 2021. Ejiofor stated that the court was misled into revoking Kanu's bail and issuing a warrant of arrest, despite Kanu not jumping bail. He argued that Kanu was forced into hiding to save his life and physical well-being. The lawyers questioned whether Kanu is being prosecuted or persecuted, citing the unusual handling of his case. They pointed out that many kidnappers in Nigeria today may have learned from the government's action. We'll continue to follow this developing story and bring you updates as more information becomes available.
He committed no sin. You know what it does? For a woman to do a child on the university level, for the child to graduate without a job, to come back and tell mama I never been a fool. Your son could not papa to soup because there is no job. You know what it does? To have a graduate whom you are dragging to soup with. Oh, you know what it does? To suffer and try your children in the school without job. We committed no crime. We need freedom, give us freedom. Free man, they can't free it for us.
No. Journalists, please don't go anywhere. Stay. Remain, please. No. Please. Nobody should go anywhere, please.